So, guys, this is True Bench. We're doing big match preview of the Arsenal Chelsea game, and I just felt it was good to get a passionate, noisy Arsenal fan to talk about this. Yes, because the banter is a lot. I'm almost thinking about exiting some of the groups I'm in right now because there's just too much coming out.
Bro,
So I said let's preview this game. Let's talk about it. We'll make it quick and short and very punchy. So we'll talk about it from three different perspectives. We'll talk about the strength of the teams and the tactical play that we expect the coach to deploy. We talk about the current form, the last few games, home and away. Who do you think has an edge? And then we talk about the psychology of this game because it plays a big part to it. And I'll let Wally introduce himself really quickly. How long he's been supporting Arsenal and why you're buzzing about this game coming up on Sunday.
well, I don't know. I feel like
I have a right of reply when you talk about this fanaticism that these Arsenal guys are coming with, because I actually think
Yeah.
it's a little unfair. Maybe to some extent is fair, but a little unfair because all fans do what Arsenal fans do. It's just that unfortunately Arsenal has not been successful recently, but it's all good. Let us move on from that.
Yeah, I just feel like, I was saying that it's laudable what Arsenal fans do, the way they support the team, even despite the lack of success, so to speak, in terms of what you wanted to achieve in the past few seasons. But I just feel like sometimes it's over the top and has to be moderated. And sometimes Arsenal fans do not know when to do it. Although the last couple of weeks, I think when the points were dropped against Wolves, I saw a number of Arsenal fans who sort of backed up and said, we go again. Let Arteta go. I'm done this time around. I saw all that. But it changed again this last weekend with the bashing of Tottenham Hotspur. And I'm like, okay, these guys are back again. So like you said, let's leave that aside and let's preview this game and talk about it. What do you think about the strength of the team and what Arteta might want to do against Chelsea?
what?
It's a very interesting game going into it now, given the current form of the team. The recent form, actually, I think is the best way to look at it because it's been very inconsistent. We were struggling at the start of the year, and then the players had a meeting, and then we had the Leeds game, and we had a great performance. We beat Leeds 4-0, controlled the game from start to finish, and then we now had the Brentford thing, the Wolf thing. That didn't work out well, and so I imagine they had maybe another team meeting, and they said, "This Tottenham game, we have no choice. We have to win it." And I will agree to a large extent. Tottenham were not great. I can almost say they were trash. And so we met them at a good time. I think tactically they were so poor, and we won the game. So at the end of the day, that's what you focus on. You win the game because we needed to win the game. And I think going into this one, personally, I think we need to win it again. So we'll see what happens. I think that the last two games we've played against Chelsea have been tight. And Chelsea is actually one of those teams that I think gives Arsenal problems, at least this season, in terms of the style of play. I think where Arsenal has struggled, even when they were really good early in the season, when they were struggling to even concede, not even goals, but shots at goal, there was a type of play that I think the team was susceptible to. And there is an aggression. We saw that with the Sunderland game. We saw that with the Chelsea game. And I think Chelsea went over the top, and that's how Caicedo got that red card in the first league game, in terms of the aggression. So I think there is an aggressiveness that this team has struggled with. The big question is whether they will struggle again. So we'll see tactically how Chelsea comes at us. But I think that one of the interesting storylines that I'm looking for here is how Arteta deploys Eze. Because Eze obviously played a good game against Tottenham. I think he has, and the coverage before the game suggests that Arteta says he thinks he knows how to deploy him now. So we'll see, because I think definitely it can be a force. His
Mm.
dribbling is I think is close to elite, if not elite. In the transition game, that can help us a lot. So we'll see
Mm-hmm.
if we play the two
Yeah.
Zubimendi, Rice DM level.
Rice.
If we can win the ball and release it to Eze and Saka, then we can hopefully do some magic going forward. So it should be an interesting game, but I expect it tight.
Yeah. So from a team strength perspective, I mean, I give it to Arsenal. I think Arsenal has been ahead of Chelsea for the last few seasons, and I still think that this season Arsenal is still ahead in terms of the quality and the overall strength and experience of the team. I would, I mean, player to player, I'm not sure there's a lot there, but when it comes to experience and the team playing together, I think that's where Arsenal has an edge over Chelsea, and that's why tactically Chelsea has to be very good in order to be able to match and get a result at the Emirates. And I think that Liam Rosinho has done something interesting since he came. Um, I think that likely we're still seeing a Maresca team, but he's made some changes, especially up front, that to me brings out the strength that the Chelsea team has. So, for example, he's deployed Joao Pedro as the number nine. I mean, there was a lot of debate whether he's number nine or number 10 or number 9.5. Under Liam is the number nine. That's it. He doesn't even mess around with that. And then behind him, he's pushed Enzo Fernandez forward. Cole Palmer roams around, but more to the left. And he's decided that he's going to choose one winger and not two in every game. So he's starting Pedro Neto or the young man from Brazil. That's it. We are not overly dependent on wing play too. And that has made a lot of difference in terms of chances created and even chances converted in the team. So that's number one. And I think he's going to go for that against Arsenal as well. And then in the midfield, I mean, Enzo Fernandez is box to box, although we're using him more in front than at the back. Caicedo has to be aggressive, but he has to remember what happened in the opposite fixture where he got a red card. And for me, if he hadn't gotten that red card that day, I think Chelsea would have won that match. But he got the red card. Arsenal got back into the game, and that was it. So he has to be mindful of that. I think where Chelsea is going to struggle against Arsenal is our defense, our backline. And there are two reasons for that. One, Cucurella is injured. He's not going to play. So Saka is going to probably have a field day playing against Gusto or the new recruit from Amsterdam. So that could be a problem. And the second part of it is the center of the midfield. Fofana has a red card, so he's going to miss the game. So he has to choose between Tosin and I'm blanking out on the other guy's name. He has to choose between the two of them, and for me, that is a major weakness that Arsenal might be able to explore on the day, especially with the corner kicks and the set piece and all that. I mean, Tosin has height, but honestly, is not very is a little bit too composed on the ball, makes him slow, makes him easy to read, and he's able. You can press him, and he'll commit an error or two, and that could be very dicey. I agree with you that it's going to be a tight game. If Arsenal scores first, it's going to be a problem for Chelsea. If Chelsea scores first, Arsenal may still be able to come back, but it will be an intriguing game. Let's go to the current form, and I think you were alluding to it. What do you think about the form, especially at home, for Arsenal? Especially the fact that United came a few weeks ago and won. How does that psychologically? How does that play into the crowd, into the fans, and the players as well?
It will be hard to tell. Honestly, I think that current form is perhaps more important than history. That said, though, yes, we our home form has been good this year. Flattering, in my opinion, because I can count several games that I think Arsenal could have either lost or drawn. I mean, the Brighton game, the Wolves game, Of course, we lost the Man U game, and a couple of others this season, maybe one or two more, that we were not impressive in the victory. We were efficient, we
Mm.
took our chances, and we won the game. Even though some people say that the own goal thing is is a trend that is helping us, but at the end of the day, we won the game. So, and that really
Yeah.
is I remember Thierry Henry making that point that look, this season it's all about winning. How you win, it doesn't matter. You just have to win this league. So we'll see how it goes. So that said, though, I think that because of the history of our home form this year, there should be some confidence, especially if we take the lead. I personally think the big question is the consistency in managing the game. Like I mentioned, like in the Leeds game for 90 minutes, I think we controlled. We were never
I think that was best Arsenal game
one,
this
one
year
of the
for sure.
best, one
Yeah.
of the best, no doubt.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think the Tottenham game should be as well. But we played a very weak,
The
very weak team
opposition
on
was
the
the
day.
problem.
But, but,
Yeah,
but,
the
but but my
opposition was
point
so
was that
flat.
in terms of the control of the game, to a large extent,
Mm. Yeah.
we did it against Leeds, we did it against Tottenham. Can we do it consistently against Chelsea? Because if we have a 15-minute spell where we lose control, you know, we we may just throw away either a lead or we lose the game.
I mean, Chelsea's form away hasn't been too bad. 6 wins, 4 draws, and 3 losses. And even those losses, you could qualify them. The first loss was against United. We got an early red card. Kopama got injured. It was raining. But it was just a bad day in the office. So that one I could excuse. The second was against Leeds at away, which Maresca was honestly underestimating the opposition, putting a second string of players and lost that game. And then the third one was against Fulham, where it was the caretaker manager after Maresca was sacked that was in charge of that game. So the losses haven't been because they didn't play well away and things like that. So I think Chelsea would take courage from that we can go away and play with the best. I mean, they went to City, they got a draw, and they've gone to big
Yeah,
stadium this year, and they've gotten good. So from that perspective, I think that and that's the second best away form in the league. I think next to Arsenal. So
if
I
I can,
mean, you have to
if I
say,
can make a point about Chelsea's away form, sorry to jump in. I think you're absolutely right.
yeah.
And going into this particular game, I think Chelsea will be one of the teams that will not be afraid of Arsenal. Even though, yes, they lost the last game. But I
Mm-hmm.
think one is a derby. I think Chelsea believe that they are good. They actually do.
They have to believe, and that
I
leads
mean,
us to the last
particularly
point.
against Arsenal, I don't think they are
No,
afraid
and
of
I want you
Arsenal.
to talk about it from the psychology
Mm.
of the game, which is the last point we wanted to
Sure.
make about this preview. And I think you're making a good point. Belief has to be in there, I think, for the two teams. But talk about it from an Arsenal perspective.
Oh well, I mean, we are on top of the league. We are going for the league. The confidence is there. We believe that we can win, and I imagine that they are going to play to win. So that won't be a problem. I don't think Chelsea is a team that scares us. But I will say this though. I mean, you made a point about Joao Pedro. Go and write it down. That guy is good. That guy is. I hope they just don't. They're not impatient because I think over the years Chelsea has been very impatient with players. That guy is very good. I mean, if you guys are willing to sell, I mean, I would say, we are not attacker Jokeres, even though his stats are good in a funny way, but he has not delivered. So who knows? He still has 10 more games. We'll see. But if I was
Yeah,
looking
yeah,
for his forward that will fit Arsenal, I
yeah,
think Joao Pedro. I
yeah,
can see a lot
yeah.
of good qualities. So he could be a problem for us. I just hope that we're ready.
I mean, psychologically, I think yes, Arsenal is on top of the league. But I also think the fact that by the time the game is being played, you might just be 2 points ahead of City, who would have played on Saturday. That will play into the psychology as well. For Chelsea, I mean, United has been on the up and up, and it's becoming a problem. It's becoming someone has to lose out of that top 5. And it doesn't look like it's going to be United. They're not playing in the Champions League. They're not playing any other competition. Aston Villa
It's
is
sleeping.
not bad. Liverpool might be getting into it. So and Chelsea will be like, we have a run of very difficult games
Good.
over the next 6 games. So we might as well go for it and just go for it.
Look,
So I think from that perspective, in my work, the last point I was going to make on psychology is the coach is met. I think he's new to the league. He's not afraid. He's been playing. He was asked about the game. He said it's one game at a time. He doesn't feel like one game is more difficult than the other. And I think that could play to him as an advantage, and the way he sets his team to believe that it doesn't matter if it's Arsenal, we're just going to play. So let's wrap this up. What's your prediction for the game before I say mine?
Right. I was going to ask you a question, but okay. If we were to wrap it up, I would say tight game.
Yeah.
I think that Arsenal defense is strong enough, maybe concede a goal. And because I believe that we really need to win, and looking at the weaknesses in Chelsea's defense, I'll say 2. Arsenal.
Okay, 2-1 to Arsenal. I predicted this game earlier in the week. I said it was going to be 3-2 to Chelsea. But I thought about it. I said it's unlikely that Chelsea scores 3 goals at the Emirates. It's not impossible, but it's unlikely. But so I'll go for the same scoreline, 2-1. But I think Chelsea wins this one.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll
But
see.
I was
Thanks
going
for
to ask you,
joining.
I was going to ask you one question though.
So,
All right.
if you were to pick a player in the Arsenal team, if I would switch this up, let me do that, asking the questions now. Which player concerns you the most going into this game?
Woo! Easy. Eze has a way of playing against Chelsea. I've seen Eze even at Crystal Palace hurt Chelsea, even at Stamford Bridge. He's very good. He holds on to the ball. He's calm on the. If he gets a chance, He doesn't really waste chances, and he has the habit of popping into the box. And you would think it's luck. It's not luck. He has a talent of popping in and getting the chances, and he has a way of putting them away. So if I'm to pick, I would say Eze is the guy that concerns me a little bit. But Ateta might not start him, and that would be good for
I'll be
Chelsea.
surprised if he doesn't, given his current form. For me,
Obviously, Cole
Yeah,
Palmer is world class when he's on form, but it's Joao Pedro. I think that guy can be a problem. He can be a problem. So we'll see.
yeah, yeah,
Hopefully, we have
yeah,
be able to handle it.
yeah. We'll see. All right. Thanks for joining. Hopefully, I look forward to reviewing the game with you
no doubt.
after the
No doubt.
match. All right.
All right,
Yeah.
then.
All right.
Cheers.
Thanks.